Welcome to another Working Out with Aaron Briggs video. Aaron, what are we doing today?
Today we are doing cardio, and it's a special type of cardio. It's what we call a flow routine. And we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Right now, we're going to invite you to join us for our warm-up. And the reminder is that we always will do the moves that you're going to do for your exercise during our warm-up routine. They might look a little different, but we'll talk about how we string them all together. So if you're ready to join us, we are starting with squats. And again, almost all of our warm-ups are going to be about 30 seconds long. Play around with it. You'll see Mags and I. Sometimes we stand up and down. Sometimes we sit low into that squat. We're really just doing what we can to warm up that motion and those hips. Exercise number 2 is going to be a curl, and that's very much related to a row. So that's why you'll see Maggie and I kind of moving our arms a little differently here. We're really just kind of getting the motion ready at our elbows, potentially at our shoulders a little bit. And so, again, there's lots of different things that you can do here. Curl, row, just kind of play around with it. And then last of all, we're going to do a press. And specifically today, we'll be trying to do an overhead press. But again, you can warm up by doing planks. You can warm up by doing push-ups. You can kind of play around with anything that allows you to push, you know, your hands in front of yourself or up above or anything like that. And again, Mags, I like how you just take a time to kind of move differently anyways. You know, you're doing some side bends, kind of playing around with it a little bit, and really just making sure your body's ready for what we're going to do.
Yeah, we are usually doing this in the morning, so it's kind of a time to kind of wake up those muscles and get ready for the day.
Okay, now one thing I want to go ahead and highlight is what's actually going to happen with the flow. So the full routine here is going to be a squat, curl, and then an overhead press, right? That's what we're going to be aiming for today. At various times, we'll be doing just a squat. We'll be doing a squat plus a curl, and then again, we'll do that squat to curl to press. Okay, so again, we'll talk about that with how we flow. What you need to know is that we're going to start in 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and you're going to start with just your squat. So squat only. Remember, if you're holding a weight, I'm choosing to hold it goblet style. You can hold it anywhere you want though, as long as that squat feels good for you. Maggie today will be doing the body weight only version. So again, if you don't have anything or if you're opting not to use anything, just follow along, make it look somewhat like her, and you'll be pretty much in good hands. You'll be rocking it here.
Yeah, there's lots of variations to squats, obviously, and we want to give those of you who don't have any equipment at home some options as well. And so other options would be, if squats aren't feeling good, lunges, and even like a wall sit or stairs, anything that's really going to engage really most of your legs.
Hips and knees. Yeah, legs is what
hips
we're
and
talking
knees
about here.
is what squats focus on.
10 more seconds.
We're shooting for a total body cardio workout today.
Absolutely.
So that's where the legs come in with the squat.
For sure. Now we're going to add that curl. And again, so that you know what you've gotten yourself into with the flow.
Oh, yeah.
is you'll notice you're still doing squats, right?
You can't turn back now, no matter what you hear. You have to just keep doing this video.
You're there. But yeah, so everything is going to be going for a minute today, right? So your squats lasted for 60 seconds, and now you're doing squats plus a curl, and that's going to last for 60 seconds. And then we're going to add that press. And again, that's about 30 seconds away. So right now, just focus on doing your squats, adding a curl. And again, we always want you to have the kind of the freedom of choice here.
Yep.
If the squat doesn't feel good and you want to do a lunge and a curl, that works. You can totally do that. If you want to do a lunge or stairs and you do a lap of stairs and then you get to the top and you do a chin up or a row or something like that. That works too. The idea is that you're just kind of combining these two movements in together to make it a little more full body and to make it a little more complex. 4, 3, 2, 1, and now we're going to add that press. So think of everything that I just said. Don't get overwhelmed, right? It's really 3 movements, but just have fun with it. Be creative with moving different ways, right? Now we're just adding, it's a squat, it's a curl or a row, a pull, and then some sort of a press movement. You can really get creative with this. If you don't want to press over your head, you could squat, do a row, and then get down at a plank and count to 1 and then get back up again, right? The idea is that you're just moving and adding some extra oomph to it, right? Kind of adding some fun. And you've got about 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, and I know Aaron's saying you've got a lot of freedom here. And at the same time, I know there's some people out there who don't really want to think.
No, they get overwhelmed.
And so they're just like, and sometimes I'm like this too, especially in like a workout class. I'm like, well, just tell me what to do.
Exactly.
I'm showing up for 10 minutes. I don't want to think. I want to move my body, but just tell me what to do. So at the same time, you can make this whatever you want it to be. You can do those moves that Aaron mentioned, 3, but you can also just follow what we're doing.
1, and excellent. Okay, and I want to talk about that real quick, Mags. I love what you brought up, but I want to get our people kind of doing their active recovery first. So one, congratulations, you made it through 3 minutes. That's cardio. And that was a great flow, right? You flowed from one exercise right to the other. Yep. We always do a little bit of active recovery on these days, and that means that we're doing a little bit of a stretch, and we're keeping you moving here. So again, these down dog reps is one of our favorite methods of doing that. Just think about getting into that high push-up position and then pushing your hips up towards the ceiling or the back wall, and then you come right back out, and you can hold those stretches as long as you want.
Yeah, it's kind of a time to take a breath, but not just like sit down on the ground and completely stop moving. It's a way to kind of keep that heart going without really pushing it too hard, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Okay, you've got about 6 seconds left. If you're ready, let's go ahead and stand back up. We're going to start just squats again in 2, 1, and begin. All right,
so just squats.
Just squats.
Just squats right
only.
Now. Squats for a minute.
Now, that first round, like we normally will say, was all about making sure that it just looked good and felt good for you, right? No surprises. If anything had felt weird, we wanted you to change it up. And the same holds true for right now. If anything just doesn't feel right, please change it up, right? That being said, now that we're in round 2, your goal is to dial it up a little bit. Add a little flex. Make sure that your posture looks great, right? That's really what we're aiming for with round 2 when I say dialed up. It doesn't have to feel any more challenging. It just needs to look a little bit better. You're a little more proud of your form.
Yeah, and some people, I mean, there's like competitions, like squat competitions and things like that where people get all hung up on form with squats and presses and curls and everything, really. But we're really just in this for you. You're working out for yourself right now. You're not being judged. Do what feels good and
3,
dial it up.
2, 1, add those curls. Excellent way of saying that, Mags. I like that. Form is important, absolutely.
Yes.
And that's why we talk about it all the time.
Right.
We also just think that there's some subjectivity to it, right? There's a little bit of, like, there's probably this understanding of good form, and what's more important than that is what's good for you.
Yeah,
right? Do what's helpful for you first.
Like what's going to feel good for you is probably how you move every day.
Exactly.
And so that's going to keep you from getting hurt. It's going to help you do what you want to be able to do. We play a lot with our kids, and so for us, that's part of why we work out. We like to take care of our house, and that's part of why we work out too. So, it's things like that, being able to lift and move and twist and turn and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's a good why behind why we do this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Long-term why is that we want to be around for our grandkids' weddings.
We want to look good. We want to feel good. We want to dance at our grandkids' wedding. That's right. 3, 2, 1. Let's add that final press. 1 more minute of kind of big movement cardio here.
Okay, so combining them all together, just real quick. Squat, curl, press.
Exactly right.
Squat,
curl,
press. Sometimes I need to say that in my head because I'm not as coordinated as
link them all
Aaron is.
Now again, keep in mind our intention is still to dial it up, to have that great posture. And like Maggie was saying, there's lots of ways to do that, but if you want specific directions on that, my key phrase every single time is stand tall and stand proud.
Yeah.
If you can do that in just about any exercise, you've nailed it, right? You've dialed it up. Your form looks and feels great.
I just stood up a little taller right
Isn't
now.
that funny, right? Just when you say it.
Yeah.
15 seconds. Yeah. You don't have to do it just when you're exercising.
Stand tall, stand proud.
You can reinforce that good form.
And that helps us ladies look a little more lean too, doesn't
it? Absolutely. It helps everyone look lean.
Yeah, right?
4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations. Let's get back into that active recovery. Now, because this was a shorter one, right? Because this was just 2 rounds, it probably didn't feel like a really hard workout. And that's by design. We didn't get to the round where we talk about this should feel like exercise. And that's on purpose, right? The first times that we do this is kind of your, hey, I'm testing the waters here. I'm making sure that I can have great form when I'm doing this. That really was the intention here. As we build out longer, we'll get to the place where it feels a little more like hard exercise or challenging exercise.
Absolutely. And that said, like obviously, Aaron, can they just rewind the video and not rewind it, but go back to the part where we went, and you guys can go 1 more round, 2 more rounds if you want to. And Aaron's just saying, typically if we'll do more rounds, we will dial it up every round.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about. If you're going to go back and do this again, just try to dial it up a little more every round.
2, 1 and done. Awesome. Okay. And again, here's the point of our workouts where we add in a little bit of stretch. This week, we're still focusing on the mobility in your spine, the mobility in your back. And so again, one of our kind of most requested, one of the favorites we get was what's called that seated rotation. And again, the main way you do this is by picking one leg up. Start with just picking a leg, it doesn't matter which one. And then put your opposite arm on the outside of that leg and just follow that twisting pattern. Oh, it can feel so good.
Yeah, it really does.
I know I said this last time, but when people do this, almost everyone goes, oh, right? It's like it deloads their spine. It feels so good.
That's great.
This is one of those stretches that you can remember. I know it always feels silly to do this if you're thinking about doing it in the office, and I might not do this in the office unless I had privacy, but
yeah,
you can do this a couple of times a day. You can do it in the morning before you leave for work, do it when you get home, do it before you go to bed. The idea is just to loosen up.
Yeah, it helps those hips if you're sitting all day too.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
your
spine, your neck, it can even help there.
Right now, a lot of people have privacy in their offices because they're at home.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, you're going to go ahead and switch sides, and again, just pick the opposite leg up, and then you can follow that with the opposite arm. And then one thing that Mags and I do with every minute, we typically will split the focus into like two 30-second halves. So the first 30 seconds, what we're doing right now, is really just our hold. We're really just holding the stretch well. And then, starting now, we're adding a little bit of rotation. And it's hard to see, but all we're doing is twisting just a little farther away and then relaxing. Twist, and then come back.
Yep, and it's
Twist,
hard to see because it's just that little bit of movement.
Just a little movement. And again, it's always optional. I like the combination of the hold as well as the movement type of stretches. Some people just want to lock into one or the other, and that's fine too.
Yeah, absolutely.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then our last little bit, we always recommend getting back into the posture that we use to kind of assess how we're feeling. And again, this week, and when we're looking at our back, it's our Sphinx or Cobra posture. Maggie and I are both in Sphinx position right now, and you're there because your forearms are on the ground. If you'd like to dial it up to a Cobra, you'll see us do that in just a second. You really just kind of push yourself up a little bit higher on your hands off your fingers.
And I like the reminder too that you can like to you're kind of bringing your chest up and pushing it towards the wall across from you, and then I always find that I have to think about releasing my glutes. I have to let my butt muscles go.
Just relax.
So that they just relax. So, well, that's all we have for today, gang. This was a 10-minute workout. We've got lots of other videos on our channel. Make sure to subscribe, share these videos with other people. If you did this one today and you just loved it, let us know. If you hated it, let us know. Hopefully you didn't, but if you have some comments or things you'd like to see, please, we are in this with you. We would love to hear that from you, and make it a great day.